What's going on, guys? Look at BCH, son of a bitch. So, in my last video, we were talking about how if we could get some type of, hourly closes above this level, which was 970, and confirm it as support, we could potentially get a big move. But on the downside, if we happen to get rejected down at this lower level of 825, 830, we would be going down, and there's not much supports below. So we're back to my crazy chart again, because the other chart doesn't have all these good support levels that we've been using on the way up. So you can kind of see this crazy crash here, and I had a downside target of this if it was a bear flag. And looking at BTC, it was in the same style pattern here. So if we got a pump, it would have been bullish, because we would have been flipping this rising channel support into new resistance, or into new support. This rising channel resistance into new support. But obviously, we were not able to hold this level. So when we dropped here, we fell all the way down, and we almost touched this support down here at 695, 697, where I originally went long. So on TradingView, I was talking about how my second place I went long, because I went long at 475, then I took profits, then I re-entered at 697, and that's where our wick ended up. So the problem here lies that this original, if we were to go off of this original pattern here, which I can't seem to grab this trend line. If we look at this original pattern that we were in, which was a rising wedge, a rising channel, and we broke bullish out of it, we came up and we tapped this level here of 1215, 1175, came down, couldn't hold this 1100 as support. We continued dumping here. So, usually when you have a wick to a level, that's usually the level that the stock or crypto is going to end up. And it could go lower. So now we're back inside of this rising channel here, unfortunately. If we put it like this, we could pretty much see that. I might want to line this up cleaner now, because we actually could use it to our advantage. So looking at it like this now, we fell through it, and then we came back up, bought back into it, which lower support is roughly the 754, which is a confluence of support here where we wicked down to and we bought back up. The only downside to this all is that we have all these moving averages crossing negative, which could push us down even further here. So if we were to take a breakdown target of this rising channel to see, hey, if we are back in this and now we break down from it, where could we potentially catch some support? And if we look, 663 to 662 could be that level that we get this final bounce off of, and maybe trend down here a little bit. Maybe we bounce and then we catch back up, and maybe we buy back up again to the 715. And we don't know for sure if it's going to just continue down here all the way to the 630. But 662 was a very strong level. There was a few strong levels, obviously, of resistance, which is the 715 was very, very crucial, that we've never been able to hold. So that would be very, very, bullish to me if we were able to hold this area, which so far we kind of wicked below it to 700 roughly. We know that this 695 to 697 was a very, very strong support, or very, very strong resistance. But ultimately, we don't have a lot of support besides the little bit of support that we created here for the little bit of time that we traded. Like, we didn't trade. Well, we traded for like 2 days here, and we traded for like 3 days here. But in reality, that amount of time isn't really enough to confirm as like really, really strong support, but it's definitely going to be an area of confluence. So knowing that we wicked here, it's very possible that we end up trading back here somewhere between the 695 with this potential breakdown target of the 666 to 662. So we could get we could trade sideways here, and we could keep coming back down and trade between the 661 and this 810, and it'll be rising, so it'll keep going higher highs and lower highs, and we'll have to see higher lows. We'll have to see how that plays out. But we got the sell signal on the MACD, on the daily, along with all these rejection candles showing me that we couldn't make any higher highs every time we came up despite those wicks, or not including those wicks here that kind of faked everybody out. Now, I got faked out on one of these moves recently because I had somebody commenting on one of my my trade ideas that if we could break out here, we'd be bullish, but if we broke this line, we would be bearish. And I was kind of leaning more towards bearish, and he was like, dude, this thing looks very, very bullish. I would be careful with being bearish here. And he made me relook at it and kind of think like, he's right, because we are holding this level here pretty well. With 3 touches, this could be, if we bounced on this 3rd touch here, that would be pretty bullish. But, because of that, he was making me consider this trade here, and thankfully I did not take it because I almost thought about taking it, but, we weren't able to get any closes above, which saved my butt. We just kind of touched it with some wicks, but we never closed above. Here we closed above, but we never actually set another candle and another candle above confirming. So we had a lot of fake outs. This was an hourly close above, but then the following candle was a spinning top and dumped us. So if you look back, the only real time we had an hourly close above was here, and we couldn't hold above here. So inevitably, we have to go lower to get some more momentum to go higher. Now, my expectations would be looking at this level here, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm looking for the 662 or 675, somewhere in between here as the final level that we consolidate on. But if we do manage to continue to hold here and Bitcoin decides to turn around, then that could be pretty good. But if we look here at the daily is at 780, and right now we're kind of trending right below this daily 20 EMA with this MACD cross here coming in on the daily as a sell signal. So another level is the 628 to 632, and that's also the 50 daily EMA. And if we look at the weekly 20 EMA, just to see if we have to come all the way back down to the weekly 20 EMA, which is very low, it's right around 540, 535, with this support here at 551, which do I think that if we go down there, we're most likely going to have to come and touch this trend line again, which is way down at the 500s. So, we'll take it a day at a time. And for now, we got a small bounce on the 4-hour, but we can easily trade sideways here or trade up to this daily at 900 and then come back down and see if we can catch support here or not. But really, ultimately, we need to get back above this 830 level and find support. And I have a bad feeling that we are not going to be able to do that. But if we do, that would be very bullish. But right now, I don't see any signs of any bullish divergence or anything, and most of this is just showing me this is just going to be some kind of dead cat bounce that brings us up and then drops us lower. So just be cautious. But that's where I'm at, guys. I know that was a lot of levels, but you can look back at all my videos and all of these levels have worked out for us. So if I'm calling for this level, just like I called for 825, it's very possible that we come down to somewhere between the 675 and the 662 level, unless 715 can hold. So that's kind of where I'm at. But, I closed my positions out somewhere up in this 970 area here. I could have got a lot more profits, but I decided to stop trading here. I was trying to trade a lot of this consolidation, and I was getting pretty damaged because it would keep faking out and dropping, and then I said, you know what? I'm just going to close everything out for a profit. I don't want to lose all my profits. And this is just in my, leveraged positions and stuff like that. This isn't even based off of my long-term holdings here. So, if you're a long-term holder, well, wait for it to settle a little bit. Give it a couple days hanging out in an area potentially, and we'll see if we can find a new pattern that we can go off of. And then we can see what we got going. So let's see if this is the end or if we have to continue a little bit lower. Ultimately, we could end up at the 700 level or the 662, and that's pretty much where I'm at. And if we go a lot lower, we go a lot lower, and that may happen because Bitcoin looks like it's going to go a lot lower also. So hopefully this is helpful. Happy trading. Peace.